Hey, how's it going, everyone? Bass here. So since it's Friday, I wanted to go over the final injury report for Week 10, Green Bay Packers versus Seattle Seahawks. And if we jump right into it, the first question a lot of people are going to have is Aaron Rodgers going to play in this game? And he's likely going to play. Now, the facts are Aaron Rodgers actually doesn't need a negative test tomorrow. The earliest he can return is tomorrow, Saturday, and he doesn't need a negative test to do that. The only thing he does need is to not be showing symptoms. And Jordan Love today in his press conference kind of let the cat out of the bag. I didn't know if he was supposed to say it, but he pretty much said the whole week they've been planning to have Aaron Rodgers start at quarterback against the Seahawks on Sunday. So in my eyes, I definitely do think Aaron Rodgers will be starting at quarterback on Sunday. And if we bring up the Packers injury report here and we get it started at the top, we have David Bakhtiari, who was just activated from IR onto their 53-man roster off that physically unable to perform list. Now, he is listed as doubtful. They're not going to rush him back, and this has been obvious. I made a video about his activation if you want to go click the link above, basically explaining the Packers aren't going to rush him back. They're going to make sure everything is good to go. He's 100%. And the fact is he's likely going to be out this game. He is doubtful. Hoping we can get him back next week from Minnesota, but just prepare. Elton Jenkins, again, is going to play left tackle, and he did a wonderful job last week against Kansas City, and has done a good job all year, so he'll be left tackle again this week. Then we have Kenny Clark on this list, who is questionable with a back injury. We saw him leave midway through last game against Kansas City. This would be a huge blow if Kenny Clark can't go. As we see right below him, a couple down, is Kingsley Keke, who's also doubtful. So if Kenny Clark can't go and Kingsley Keke, who's doubtful, is most likely not going to play, that would definitely be a big blow to this Packers defensive line. Kenny Clark is such a huge factor in that defense. So hopefully he can go. He is questionable. I think he'll go, so we'll see. And then next up on these lists, like I said, we have Kingsley Keke there, who's doubtful with a concussion, and Dominique Daphne, who's also doubtful with a hamstring injury. I thought Keke would have passed concussion protocol by now, just hasn't. Expect Jack Heflin to be active again. He was active last week. The Packers are definitely kind of thin at defensive line, and especially will be very thin if both Keke and Clark don't play. The next three have no injury designations. We have Dennis Kelly, back injury, as a full participant Thursday and Friday. Mercedes Lewis only is on here because veteran rest, and he was a full participant Friday as well, per usual. And then Dean Lowry, full participant all week. We saw last week he was questionable, so he's ready to go this week, which would definitely help because Kingsley Keke's most likely out. We have Equinemius St. Brown here, who's questionable with an ankle injury. He was limited all week. And then also Eric Stokes, who was limited Wednesday and Thursday, but full participant on Friday, so that's a good sign, even though he is questionable. Eric Stokes got hurt in pregame warmups last game against Kansas City and didn't play at all. After the pregame warm-ups, he was listed as questionable, but didn't go in to see a snap. Kevin King took his spot, and Kevin King played a very good game. Kevin King was the highest-graded PFF defender for the Packers last week, so it would definitely help to have Eric Stokes, Kevin King, and Rasul Douglas versus Russell Wilson this week. Then moving over to the Seattle injury report, obviously Russell Wilson has returned from that finger injury, and the Packers will be seeing him lead the Seahawks there. But first on their list, we have Bless Austin, who is out for a personal matter. He's pretty much a depth cornerback there. We have Cody Barton here, who's questionable. Again, a backup linebacker. He's only had 47 snaps all year, so not much to worry there. Marquise Blair is out, another depth cornerback. So one thing to note, depth cornerback, defensive back, safety, whatever you want to call them. One important thing to note is they're a little bit thin on the back end of that defensive backfield. And then we have a bunch of non-designated players here who are going to play in this game. Alex Collins, Jamarco Jones, Sidney Jones, DK Metcalf, DJ Reed, Brandon Shell, Poona Ford. Then all the way down at the bottom here, we do have Al Woods, who is weirdly enough questionable, considering his injury says resting vet. Usually you wouldn't have a designation, as you see above him with Poona Ford. But for some reason, he's listed as questionable and was limited on Thursday. So I don't know if he just got a little bit of rest for this practice. You see Poona Ford was DNP on Thursday with resting vet. So I don't know if he picked up a random injury in the practice. I'm not really sure. Usually they would have to list the injury. So I don't really understand why he's questionable here. But if for some reason Al Woods doesn't play, that would be a huge hit to the Seattle defense. He's their starting nose tackle. He's actually the highest graded PFF defender on the Seattle football team. But overall, the Packers aren't looking too banged up this week. As I said, it would definitely hurt if Kenny Clark couldn't play, but he is listed as questionable, so it's about that 50-50 to 50 to 75% range. They don't have probable anymore, so he could be probable or in between questionable and probable. You really don't know, but I would assume Kenny Clark's going to play. Like I said, it would definitely hurt if he doesn't. David Bakhtiari, most likely not going to play. Again, just no point to rush him back. But overall, like I said, the team's not that banged up, which is good. Finally, I mean, we keep seeing injuries week in and week out, and just having to overcome that adversity, and how resilient this team is when it comes to injuries has just been tremendous. But that about does it for this video. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the injury report for the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks for the upcoming Week 10 game. But on that note, I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, go Pack Go.